of crazy things in my life that's getting longer and longer by the minute, and I can honestly tell you that the honor and the pride that I feel standing before you today is unprecedented. The words woman of distinction coming from Linda Keene's mouth, and she truly is a woman of distinction in my opinion, struck me as somewhat surreal and prompted me to think about how on earth this could have come to pass. My conclusion is, I've just been lucky, right? You know, just as the journey of any trekker can be made or broken by the weather, I was fortunate to set out in life and experience my Girl Scout years too, under very sunny, clear skies. My Girl Scout years were during a time when our country was characterized by a common sense of purpose and the notion that a level playing field is in the best long-term interest of all. Now, informed by these elements of a prevailing social contract, the nation invested in the future, in infrastructure, education, technology, and yes, in children. With so much support, it seemed to me that everything was possible. But times have indeed changed, and every day we enjoy conveniences that were unthinkable, certainly when I was growing up. It also seems that something far more important has receded. Empathy. Empathy seems diminished in our society today. How can this be? Well, it turns out our society is characterized by extreme income disparity, the likes of which you have to look to Russia and Iran to match. The top 1% of our citizens receives 25% of reported income and controls 40% of the wealth in our country. Now, these people, of course, can live the American dream, education, houses, medical care, everything. But a lot of times there's a lack for an appreciation that the role of investing for the common good plays in our long-term well-being and in our futures. Rather, the priority is shifted to a new paradigm, and Joseph Stiglitz, who's a Nobel economics laureate, has dubbed this of the 1%, by the 1%, for the 1%. Financial might can now influence policies and keep that agenda strong. So to wit, while the federal spending made up 25% of our U.S. economy in 2009, children received just 9.5% of this allocation. And even if you include the child-related tax subsidies, the amount was 14%. Either way, this does not convey the notion that providing young people with support and opportunities to thrive is a high national priority. Our country has faced a lot of challenges in its history. We've not always shared a common vision of what our social contract should be and what role government should be in fulfilling that contract, and what resulting American dream should we all be pursuing. One can recall a lot of divisive issues, the most extreme of which, 150 years ago this week, resulted in us going to war against our fellow citizens, sometimes against members of our own families. But we, as a people, have always found a way forward, and we will this time too. The process promises to be long and a bit contentious, as we're seeing, but we will arrive at a new social contract and a new American dream. In the meantime, we who care deeply about giving young people an environment in which they can develop into leaders and citizens to whom we want to entrust the future of our country, we must do what's within our spheres of influence. The Girl Scouts is a premier enabler in this regard, with a long, successful track record of positive results. Furthermore, Girl Scouts of Minnesota and Wisconsin River Valleys is the best of the best under the dynamic leadership of Linda Keene, a consummate professional and a role model for all of us. Thank you so much for caring. Thank you for being here today, and thank you for honoring me.